Hello, how are you? Lately, it seems that many people wake up feeling completely exhausted even after sleeping for a full 7 or 8 hours every single night. People actually go to bed at the right time earlier and wake up when the alarm goes off but still feel tired. Let's really understand why this happens, what might be affecting your sleep, and I'll also give you a recipe that you can have an hour or an hour and a half before going to bed, which can really help improve your sleep. The ingredients are super easy. You probably have all of them at home. There are only 4, but they're affordable and easy to find, and I'm sure you're going to love it. Stay until the end. You won't want to miss this. Before we start, I want to ask you if you struggle with this issue of waking up in the morning already feeling tired. There are people who wake up when the alarm goes off and say, "My God, this can't be. I could sleep another 2 or 3 hours because I still don't feel rested." Does this happen to you? Write to me down here in the comments. When we think about people who wake up tired, we know there are many things that can affect our sleep quality, right? Like I told you earlier, some people manage to sleep through the entire night and still can't wake up feeling fully rested. That's usually because they aren't relaxed enough to enter a much deeper sleep. We know that nowadays many people are in this state of hyper-alertness with stress, anxiety, staying on screens until very late, drinking coffee too late, or other caffeinated beverages. Sometimes a person has a work routine where they're doing excessive mental work right up until bedtime, and also with bright lights, very focused, right? Or even that issue of information overload. Sometimes the moment you stop to check the news to catch up on what's happening, there are so many worrying things going on that it creates even more stress, more anxiety, and it really becomes difficult to relax. With all of these different factors combined, your sleep can end up being much more impaired, mainly because you might suffer from increased cortisol secretion and get far less relaxation stimulus before you finally go to bed. This can directly or indirectly impact nighttime micro-awakenings. This is a very interesting concept because there are people who don't actually wake up, like get out of bed, but have several micro-awakenings during the night and don't notice it. This also happens a lot with people who feel pain, back pain, shoulder pain, knee pain, leg pain, stomach pain. As time goes by, the tendency is for people to develop joint or muscle problems, and any slight movement in bed can make the person wake up without realizing it. So sometimes you get a twinge like that, and you have a micro-awakening. Sometimes you don't get out of bed, but your body has already left that state of relaxation it was in because of the inflammation and more frequent pain. For some people who have a certain imbalance in blood glucose and blood sugar, it's common for their night's sleep to be worse as well, for several reasons. First, because the body will keep trying to eliminate that excess glucose. One of the mechanisms the body uses is through urination, so you'll feel thirstier, have more urge to urinate, not just while you're awake. This continues during the night as well. So people who have higher unbalanced blood sugar tend to actually get out of bed to urinate, sometimes have a dry mouth, drink more water, and end up stuck in this endless cycle. But that's not the only reason. We know that when your blood sugar is higher, your body can go into a sort of mode where it doesn't understand what's happening, and your brain wakes you up to try to make you urinate, drink more water, and so on. It's actually a survival mechanism. Your body wakes you up at night if your blood sugar is too high or, in some cases, too low. In addition, we know that with today's modern diet, where people tend to prioritize the consumption of ultra-processed foods, it's increasingly common to see deficiencies in certain micronutrients that are related to sleep health, such as magnesium, for example. So some people end up waking up more often, have more trouble falling asleep, or they fall asleep and then wake up in the middle of the night with their minds racing and can't get back to sleep, also because of deficiencies in tryptophan, magnesium, or other substrates that could help with the sleep cycle. So I prepared a recipe here that you're definitely going to love because it's a drink you can make with several ingredients containing bioactive compounds that have already been scientifically proven to help you sleep better and have a deeper sleep. The base of this drink will be a tea that we make with 2 herbs. The drink itself isn't a tea, but we start by making this tea with 2 herbs. The first one is chamomile, of course. Chamomile contains several bioactive compounds, such as apigenin, for example, which promotes relaxation, reduces the feeling of hyper-alertness, improves mental comfort before sleep. It's not a strong sedative, it doesn't knock out your brain, but it helps your brain get out of alert mode, which is super important at bedtime, right before we fall asleep. The second herb in this tea is lemon balm, or melissa. I'm not sure what you call it in your city. It has traditionally been closely associated with relaxation, reducing the feeling of a racing mind, mental comfort, and it really does contain those bioactive compounds that help us enter a more relaxed state, making us slow down that excessive pace of the body a bit. So, to start making the drink, you'll brew a tea with about a cup of boiling water and 1 teaspoon of each of these herbs. Wait about 10 minutes, strain it, and then you can add about 1 tablespoon of pumpkin seeds to blend in the blender. Pumpkin seeds are very interesting for those looking to sleep better because they are rich in two very important components. First, magnesium itself, which I mentioned earlier, is important for the central nervous system, for relaxation, and for both inducing and improving the quality of sleep. But it also contains tryptophan, which is the amino acid involved in the production of compounds related to melatonin, the sleep-wake cycle, right, helping us to actually enter a more relaxed nighttime state. Of course, ideally, it should be unsalted pumpkin seeds, right? Because obviously you're going to make a drink with this. So be mindful of that. And finally, the last ingredient I like to add is about a teaspoon of flaxseed to blend together with the pumpkin seeds and the tea in the blender. Flaxseed is quite interesting because it naturally contains anti-inflammatory compounds, such as omega-3 precursors, which are an extremely healthy fat. And together with the pumpkin seeds, it is also very rich in fiber, so it helps to further stabilize blood sugar levels, preventing those spikes in blood glucose that I mentioned, which can harm and worsen nighttime awakenings. This drink provides magnesium, tryptophan, relaxing teas for you, and also offers fiber and healthy anti-inflammatory fats that help control blood sugar and reduce low-grade chronic inflammation. So it's very easy for you to add, and it has an extremely pleasant flavor because of the teas. You blend everything together and drink it. But ideally, there are two very important tips here. The first thing is that you need to drink it at least an hour to an hour and a half before going to bed because it's a considerable amount of liquid, right? So you shouldn't drink it and go straight to bed, otherwise you'll wake up during the night to urinate. And the second thing, don't add sugar, okay? We know that sugar is pro-inflammatory. It can throw off your blood sugar levels like I mentioned before, and that's not good in this context. Remember that the meal closest to bedtime also matters a lot. For some people, that's dinner. Some people have a snack instead of dinner, but that snack isn't necessarily a light one. I have a video that I made recently talking more about that meal before bed and how to optimize it to get better sleep quality. So I'll leave it for you down below in the description. Also remember that our body benefits a whole lot from a healthy sleep ritual and good sleep hygiene, where we can actively control screen time and manage the temperature of our bedroom, all things that could really help us fall asleep and stay asleep. I have a playlist talking more about sleep, how to improve your sleep, and I'll leave it down below in the description. So tell me if you're going to try this drink today, if you're going to make it exactly like this, or if you're going to change anything. I'd love to see your comment. Remember to like the video, it's really important to me, and share it with anyone who would enjoy it or needs it. Let's expand our chain of kindness. That's what I want here on the channel. See you next time. Bye.